Wow, Miami Cuddles already on the ball. How did you get here so fast? Let me just wait for a few more people here. DJ Ginky, how are you doing? Hey Marcus, how are you doing? Stray Fire, there you go. Put my water down here. It's funny little cans. It's got some LaCroix, and they have little skinny cans. It's the same amount. I don't know why they have skinny cans. It's bizarre. Anyway. Daniel Johnson. I'm not sure if that's my brother or a different Daniel Johnson. There's another Daniel Johnson that comes on, and so I'm not really sure. But thank you, Daniel. Hey, Christy, how are you doing? Let's see, Christy, this is the apple cranberry, which is okay. It's not my favorite. They have one that was like a kiwi strawberry, and that was fire. Absolute fire. Daniel T, thank you. Thank you for coming on. So, anyway, thank you guys for coming on. It's been a while since I've done a live video. I think the last time I did a live video was right after Halloween, so we're due for one. And I have some video equipment that I have in my wish list that I'm gonna order. So hopefully I can upgrade the video footage here. This is just on my phone, and this is okay, but I want to improve that. So I have some equipment that I'm going to order pretty soon that I think should help a lot if my internet connection allows me to. So we'll be experimenting with that, and the quality will be a lot better. But thank you guys for joining. And today I wanted to go over some of the new fragrances that are coming out. I normally have kind of a produced video that goes over new fragrances, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to have kind of hey, how are you doing, Jason? I thought it'd be cool to have a live video. Bilal, it's a Sony A7 R2. This one is an older one. A7 III is just a little bit better. What's funny is I got this used, not this camera, but my camera that I use for my regular videos. I got it used, and it was a pretty good deal, and I was happy with what I got. And then just like 2 weeks later, the A7 III was announced, and it would have been even better. So just how it goes sometimes. I should have listened to Sony Rumors or something. DJ Genki, you're right. The battery life does suck. I have 3 batteries, and I just keep in constant charge rotation. But it usually, one will last me. Bilal, you're right. It is very good. I'm pleased with what I got. So it's really good quality. And I want to get another one too. So I might be getting another one maybe next year. Christy, thank you. I appreciate it. But so I should be getting some streaming hardware that will allow me to use my actual camera, and that will look a lot better. So hopefully we can do that. But today I want to do kind of a live video about the news and new fragrances that have come out in the last month. I thought it'd be fun to kind of go back and forth with that instead of doing a more produced one. Plus those videos take a little long to make, and I thought this might be more fun. I'm gonna try to do more live videos in the future. I'm experimenting to see how it goes, because I like the live format a lot more. I like the long form content. And the views are okay. I just wanna see how it goes with that. I would love to do live video exclusively. I don't think that would happen, but I would love for that to be more of a normal thing for me, just because the ability to just have a video and go live instead of having to go back and edit everything would be amazing. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not really sure. The one benefit of having a produced video is that you can go back and edit it, and you can have a 5-minute video. Hey, Rich, how are you doing? I owe you an email reply. Sorry, I haven't replied to your latest email. But, excuse me. But, so this is what my normal videos would look like if I didn't edit them. I have a lot of jump cuts in my video, but I do it raw like Joy Almond. But I prefer having shorter videos because you don't get the ums and you don't get the uhs and you don't get all this. I'll take 45 minutes of footage and then I'll have to cut it down to 10. So it usually is a lot faster, a lot tighter if I edit everything down. But some people really like the long form content and they like the back and forth. And I love the communication with subscribers, you guys. I really love that. Willie Akin says, Armani Code Absolute is the best flanker of the year, period. I have to try that one. That's a big statement there. Chrissy, I like live best, makes you more real and saves you time. I like it too. And I like it for that reason, because it saves me time. Let me change my exposure here. Hold on 1 second. All right. That's a little better. Miami Cuddles. Armani Code Absolute opens up like bug spray. Marcus says Tom Ford ombre leather is good this time of year. It really is. It is good. Hello, Joe. How are you doing, man? All right, so let's go over some of the news here. I'm just going to get it from Now Smell This. You can't see it on my iPad here. And I'm probably not going to go into a whole lot of detail. A new fragrance that's coming out that I am really excited for is called, hey, Simi, how are you doing? Is called Telegramma by Imaginary Authors. They have a new fragrance coming out that has lavender, talc, and something else in there. But that looks really great. Rich Mitch says he's wearing tobacco oud. You're daring. I'm not a big fan of that one. So that's one fragrance that's coming out. It should be coming out, when is it? When did he say? Was it 12th? Or was today the 12th? I'm not even sure. What's today? 6th. I think it's coming out the 12th. So we'll see what that is. DJ Genki is wearing Cape Heartache today. Says, love that house. Yeah, totally. Chi-Town, California is wearing David Off Cool Water. Michael Skidmore is wearing Jubilation 25. He's trying out Jubilation 25 and Pure Tonka this year. Says, any thoughts on those two? Yeah, I like them. Jubilation 25, I think, is fantastic. My wife didn't like it, and I like it, but it wasn't something that is too wearable for me, but I really like it, and it does. I think it's the best from the house, personally. Pure Tonka is okay. I think it's, you know, kind of a Tonka lavender type of scent that is a little bit better than the normal Tonka lavenders out there. The Fragrance Apprentice says, David off? What about David on? With me, you always get David on, son. You get a nice beard shot there. I just need to shave. But you know what? Jeremy is a fan of my beard, so he's an expert, I guess. A lot of people wearing a lot of things. Sorry I can't get to everything. Of course, if you want to, the Super Chat is always open. If you have a fragrance you want to just go straight to the top, Super Chat is always open. Always appreciate it if you ever want to donate. It's never a requirement, but I always appreciate it. The Fragrance Apprentice. Oh, man, I'm not ready. Well, get ready, man. Get ready. Fragrance Apprentice, how you doing over there with Fragmental and Zaharoff? Cool pictures, man. I really like the Zaharoff fragrance. I need to review it. I've had it for a while. I need to review it. Let's see. Saurabh Mishra says, what about oils? Would love to see your views on oils. So I'm not gonna do oils. For one, oils are not really a huge segment of the perfume or the fragrance community. I don't think there would be a whole lot of interest there. I know that you can find some in more of the Occidental style or the Middle Eastern style. I know it's more common, more prevalent there for certain religious reasons and things. Fragmental, there you go. I'm wearing Zaharoff now, love it. Hey, how are you doing, man? It's a really nice kind of that soft, spicy feel to it. I like that one. But to go back to Saurabh Mishra, I'm probably not going to do any oils. I just don't think I don't think there's a whole lot of diversity in that. I don't think there's a lot of interest there. And I don't see it as, I think if you're going to wear a fragrance, I think wearing just a regular spray-on fragrance is probably more preferable in the end. I've done some things about the solid fragrances, and there is some merit there, I think, but not really much interested in oils. Fragmental's trying to keep the fragrance apprentice out of trouble. I bet that's a 24-hour job. This is Bad Cases. Can you do the top 10 week-lasting fragrances? I was thinking about something to use during sport fitness. That might be something I could pursue a little bit. I have to go back and think about some of them. DJ Genki says, I bought Cool Water Intense, then saw your video and was like, yep, he's right, LOL, spot on, Dave. Thank you. Saurabh Mishra says, thanks for your views. You're welcome. I appreciate the question. Fragmental says, it's a kind of fun job. Kind of a fun job. Man, I would love to see you guys. I would love to go to the UK. We don't even have to do a video. I just love to see you guys. But of course we would do a video. Kenneth Cribb says, Dave, you need to try out Spirit of Dubai. Maiden is amazing. Check it out. Rich Mitch says, come to the UK. I definitely want to. Yeah, Fragrance Apprentice says, we'd love to see you, my bro. Yeah, totally. It'd be awesome. That'd be so amazing. I would love to go there anyway. Like, that's just one of the parts of the world I've always just wanted to go to. But then to see you guys would be amazing. All right, so let's go see if I can find any new fragrances here. Yeah, there you go. So Telegramma's coming out by Imaginary Authors. Really super excited about that. I've talked a little bit to Josh, and he's told me a couple of things about Telegramma. And it's supposed to be kind of styled in the 60s, I believe. And so that should be really, really cool. So Rob Mishra says, am I wearing Date for Men? I'm not wearing Date for Men. He hasn't given me Date for Men. I'm sure he probably will eventually. Chi-Town, California, I'd love to see a Mr. Smelly and Daver collaboration. That'd be amazing too. I really like him. I'm actually really looking forward to his fragrance. I don't necessarily think it'd be my thing, but I am really excited to see what comes out of it. Okay, so Escada is coming out with a new fragrance. No surprise there. It's called Flor del Sol, and it looks like a summery fragrance for women. So, whatever. Let's see, Oscar de la Renta Bella Essence, a new fragrance for women. The last was Bella Rose. Okay. Chi-Town, California says, I like vintage cologne, so Gravitas Pour Homme sounds tempting. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to have kind of that vintage type of feeling to it. And I definitely think it's going to have a certain audience there. I don't necessarily know if it'll be me, but I'm obviously keeping an open mind there. But I'm looking forward to trying it. So Gravitas is the Mr. Smelly fragrance. And so, isn't that right? Am I right there? I don't think I'm wrong. But anyway, I know it's supposed to have kind of an old school type of vibe. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's going to be cool. Definitely want to check it out. Christy says, why bring out a summer fragrance around Christmas? I don't know. Lee Allen says, hey, from the UK, Daver, seeing as cheapies like Cool Water are being mentioned, have you tried Yoke Pour Homme Absolute? I've seen no reviews from reviewers I watch. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't seen any news of that yet, so I didn't know that was out. But I'll be checking that one for sure. So Rob Mishra says, how do you feel about the Elysium and Bleu de Chanel similarities? I don't think they're very similar. I mean, so Elysium is similar only in the fact that it is kind of a citrusy type of accessible fragrance. I mean, it's similar in the way that maybe Bleu de Chanel and Sauvage are similar in that they're not really similar. They're just kind of similar in style. I think Elysium is better. It's more expensive, but I do think it's better, but it doesn't last very long. I mean, that's kind of the biggest gripe that I have with Elysium. And I got the other ones in the Parfum Cologne line from Roja Dove, so I'm going to be doing a video about that soon. Yeah. So those are new from Roja Dove. So that's news, I guess. He made a Parfum Cologne line. I'm sure you've seen it. I know some reviewers have already gotten some and made reviews, but the Parfum Cologne line, overall, they're very good. I'm not a huge fan of Roja Dove in general, but I think he chose really good ones, and I think the Parfum Cologne line actually, in my opinion, is kind of the better version of those fragrances. And vetiver is spectacular. Great, great vetiver scent. You smells good. Hey, Eugene, how are you doing, man? Okay, so You Smells Good says, Daver, what should I buy from Parfums de Marley? Okay, to me personally, I think that Herod is probably my favorite from them, most wearable. And that one is kind of a watery, floral tobacco scent. And I think that one's really good. And that's the one I wear primarily. I think, I definitely think that one is worth a buy. I think another one that is good from them, not sure if it's necessarily a buy for everyone, is Hobdon. Hobdon is kind of this really rich, ambery scent with a lot of apple on there. It's kind of like, to me, it reminds me kind of like Ombre Narguilé, except with balls. So it's in that kind of realm. You Smells Good says, I have Herod and want to smash it. Just thinking of the best way. Come to America, we can shoot it. Shoot it with a gun. I really like Herod. A lot of Parfums de Marley stuff, I'm sure you probably know this, Eugene. A lot of Parfums de Marley stuff is kind of a very kind of accessible type of fragrance. I don't necessarily think of them on like the bleeding edge of artistic or creativity necessarily. I think of them as just really wearable. I am not opposed to that. I kind of like that style a lot. But I can see how some people don't. But another one that I really like from them, Eugene, is a women's fragrance, and that one is Delina. Delina is fantastic, fantastic rose scent. Really, really nice. Chi-Town, California says, have I tried Invictus Legend? I have not. Haven't tried that one yet. I'm not really looking forward to that. Almost everything by Paco Rabanne is just trash. Invictus is trash. I don't like Invictus. A lot of the flankers of Invictus are trash. Invictus Legend, I'm guessing, is trash. All right, so let's see if there's anything else. Oh, whoa, that's kind of cool. There's a French niche line called, is that Anatole Le Breton? Has launched Perfumista, a new fragrance. Let me see what that one's all about. It's built around a woody rose accord. Okay, Bulgarian rose. Okay, we'll see. Looks okay. It looks like it's a small bottle. Looks like it's 30 ml. Could be wrong. All right. Rich Mitch, is anyone else aware of the COPPA changes? I mean, I know a little bit about it. It's not going to affect my channel at all. It's just to keep people from making content directed towards kids, really. My content's not directed towards kids at all, so I don't have to worry about it at all, really. So Rob Mishra says, what are your views on MDCI Chypre Palatine? I think I tried it one time, and I don't really remember what I thought. I've tried a couple from MDCI, and I thought they were okay, but I didn't get a lot of time with them. I've only tried maybe on paper just a couple of them. The Platypus says, hey, Daver, I'm sure you've already spoken about it already, but what was your opinion on Redolescence's line so far? So, okay, so the last time I made a live video, I think it was the last one, I talked about how Redolessence is already doing really good. He's come out with some more news, but I haven't really kept up with it. But I think he's doing really great. Like, I think everything that he's done is on point. I think he's making a lot of great choices. I think the line is really coming together. I haven't seen the bottles. I've heard a lot of people really hate the bottles. Bottles don't really bother me that much most of the time. Sometimes they do if they're really boring, or if they're really, plain or bland. But most of the time, I just don't care. So that's not a big deal to me. Of course, I haven't tried any of the fragrances yet. I don't know when they'll be out. So, but I'm really excited about it. I really am really, really excited about that line. I think it's going to be great. See, Geith Warda says, hello from Norway. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you for coming on. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Ian Wren says, hey, Daver, have you heard anything about Metal Wave from All Saints? I saw it featured on Man for Himself channel. Yeah, I have a full review of the All Saints line. Metal Wave is on there. And it's okay. The All Saints line is okay. I don't think it's amazing. And some of the fragrances I think you could do better with outside of All Saints, honestly. I think the price that you're getting is a fair price. And if you really like it, I mean, I think it's worth it. But like one of them, I forgot what one of them was. It was something Sunset. And the Sunset one really reminded me a lot of, what was it? St. Julep by Imaginary Authors. And the Metal Wave, is that the incense one? I think that's the incense one, right? I'm not sure. But they were okay. They didn't really jump out, but they played it really safe, I should say. They're okay. They're wearable enough. Michael O, thoughts on Theory Mugler fragrances going discontinued? I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen eventually. They can't keep them all the time. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Most of the Theory Mugler line, I think, is okay, but they have a lot of fat in that line that they could trim, and they probably have a lot of fragrances that that aren't selling well. Strapio Silva is not muted. I just think he's a troll. So I'm not answering any of his questions. The platypus that says the bottles are very reminiscent of Roja Dove. Yeah, the Roja Dove bottles aren't really great either. And, you know, they're just square bottles. I know some people have said they're really reminiscent of Roja Dove. It's a square, okay? It's reminiscent of a square. It's if you want to come up with a brand new bottle, you have to spend, like, I think you probably have to spend a lot of money to come out with a new mold, a new design. And what good does that do for your line? I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. So I can see people going for just kind of safer style bottles just because they want to put more effort into the juice and get it in people's hands. Having a square bottle, I mean, how many bottle companies have square, rectangular, or round bottles? Like the majority. Ian Wren, thank you so much. I don't see any question or comment on there, but if you have a question, let me know. Chi-Town, California says, David, are you a Les Paul or Stratocaster fan? I am no respecter of guitars. I like all guitars, and I don't care what they are. Personally, though, the Stratocaster is a lot more versatile, and you can do a lot more with it. So I like the Stratocaster more, but I love the Les Paul. I don't have a Les Paul. I do have a Strat. So I thought a Strat was more necessary to have sooner than a Les Paul was, but I really want a Les Paul. There's a company called Eastman Guitars. They actually make guitars out of China, but they make them at a really high quality level. And their guitars are a good bit less than Gibson's, but the quality level is far superior than Gibson's. And Gibson lately, the last few years, they've had a lot of quality control problems, a lot of PR problems, and the opposite is true with Fender. Fender, they've just been getting better and better and better and better. But with Gibson, like, I'm not going to buy a Gibson. I've just formed it in my mind. If I want to get, I really want a 335. So a 335 really is one of my next guitars that I really want to get. And a Les Paul I want to get eventually. But both of those, a 335 and a Les Paul, are going to come from Eastman eventually. I just, you know, they're expensive guitars. So if one of you wants to donate, you know, a live chat of that much money, I will review it. I'll do a private review. I'm just joking. I'm not joking, but no, I'm not asking for money. But I love, so to answer your question, I think the edge probably goes more to Strat, but I love both of them. Ian Wren says, I believe you're right. Metal Wave was featured on a winter list, so that makes sense. Good to know. Thanks. You're welcome. I really appreciate your question there. Fazisa says, when are you coming out with your own brand? No plans to. No plans. I don't really know if I want to come out with my own brand, honestly. I don't think that's necessarily anything I want to do. Michael O says, I don't know if you tried them, but the Argos fragrances are amazing and the bottles are gorgeous. I haven't tried them. I've had them on my radar for a while, but I haven't tried them. DJ Genki says, Strat with Eric Johnson pickups. Eric Johnson is a monster player. And Eric Johnson was one of those guitar players that really showed me the difference between where I was when I was just learning guitar and where I could be as a pro. And I'm still not there yet, but I watched a video. It was a Hot Licks video with younger Eric Johnson. He had like the mullet. And I think it was, right after his kind of famous Austin City Limits show. And he did this tutorial on some of the stuff that he does. And my mind was blown. I could not believe the amount of talent that one person could have. And I'm not a huge fan of his tone, honestly. His tone is a little bit too dull for my taste. So I don't really like his tone, but I know a lot of people do. He has his own thing, and it's definitely him. So DJ Genki says Epiphone is the new Gibson. Anyhow, I think you're right. Elvin McKay says, I have a question. In your opinion, what is the best all-year-round woody aromatic fragrance, niche or designer? And what is the best clean, masculine, all-around scent? Thank you. I think one fragrance that really comes to mind is Vetiver Fatale by Atelier Cologne. They have... Vetiver Fatale is kind of like this vetiver cedar plum thing. And I think it's really good in a lot of different seasons. I like that one a lot. Atelier Cologne is great at making really interesting, accessible fragrances, staying in the cologne style. I think it's hard to make a woody fragrance, something that's wearable all year round. I think a lot of times, to me anyway, whenever I smell woody fragrances, a lot of the woody fragrances, if they're dominated by the woody scent, lean towards fall and winter. But most of the time, what they just use the woodiness for is just kind of the backbone of the fragrance, and you can't really smell it that much. But I think a lot of vetiver fragrances are really good for all year fragrances. Vetiver by Roja Dove is really good at that. Sycamore by Chanel is really good at that. And then you have other ones that you probably could wear in the cooler weather, even though I don't think they're great, like Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. I think that's more of a fresher type of scent, but it has some elements that I think you could wear in the cooler weather, and that's going to be kind of hard to find all year round scents, really. You can wear anything you want, but to find something that really has a lot of versatility all year round in that genre is going to be difficult. Those are just kind of a few that really popped to my head right away. Aegon Targaryen God rest your soul, Aegon. Says, do you think Cremo Spice and Black Vanilla is a good alternative to Spice Bomb Extreme? I haven't smelled that. I really need to check it out. I know Cremo has a few different scents in their line that kind of come close to other scents. I haven't tried that one, but we'll see. I'll have to try it. Let's see. Geeth Warda says, hello, is Parfums de Marley Percival worth it? I like it because I'm a huge fan of your channel, or a fan of Chanel Egoiste Platinum. I think if you like Chanel Platinum Egoiste, I think you would really like Percival. Is it worth it? It's hard to say if it's worth it for someone else, because that's really kind of a judgment call. But a lot of Parfums de Marley fragrances are, to me, they smell just as good as the price that they have. So sometimes whenever you buy like a niche fragrance, you spend a lot of money and it smells very similar to maybe a designer fragrance, or it smells cheaper than it should be. I don't necessarily get that impression with a lot of Parfums de Marley scents. I guess we're not going to do any new fragrances after all. But I do think it's worth it to me, though Percival is not my favorite scent, but I think they have a good value of their fragrances. Vincent Stern, where's the other guy from Fragrance Bros? Which other guy? You're talking about my friend Jer? He retired from the channel a long time ago. I have a whole video about that, and he's been on as a guest host. Fazisa says, maybe a Fragrance One Daver collab. Yeah, I mean, I'm up for that. I'll do, I'll review Date for Men whenever it comes out. We missed Jer. Raphael Palfoun says, when is Pure Plum by Mugler going to be released? Is that a real fragrance? I don't, it sounds like it's not a real fragrance. All right, let's see here. AW says, have you had an opportunity to sample, excuse me, the Happy Land line? They look fairly interesting. I have not. Michael O says, definitely need to get them, brother, or at least sample pack, because I promise you they are high quality and smell amazing. And if you use the discount Michael5, then you get 5% off your order. Thank you, Michael5. Have to check them out. No Poswell says, I only respect those YouTubers who actually create the fragrance, not just pay someone to do them. Why? Every fragrance that is created by one of those perfumers, you know, someone that is hired to make a perfume. If you want to be a perfumer, I mean, that's respectable, but I don't think you shouldn't respect a person who just wants to make a fragrance and hire someone who knows what they're doing already. The learning curve to actually learn and be good takes a long, long time and a lot of money to become a perfumer. And if you don't go to a school that teaches you how to be a perfumer to start with, it's got to be self-taught, which means it's going to be thousands and thousands of hours just before you get anything that's good. I have the utmost respect for anyone who wants to create a perfume, even those who want to create a perfume and hire someone else to do it. I mean, I think that's great. It still takes talent to be the creative director of a brand, a good creative director. All right, let's see if I got anything else here. gonna be scattered. All these new fragrances are gonna be scattered out here. Hillary Schwartz says, I'm thinking of starting my own fragrance YouTube channel. Do you have any advice for a newbie? Yeah, I think, so I'm trying to think if I want to be satirical or honest here. So for like honest thing, like an honest way to go, you have to understand there are 2 points of view as a reviewer. There is get views or do what you want. And those don't overlap most of the time. And this will kind of crush the dreams of some new reviewers, but this is just the reality of where we are on YouTube right now. If you want to do what you want and review a fragrance, it's got to be something that is really hot. So I think if you want to do an actual fragrance review that gets a lot of views right away, you've got to do something that is current. Otherwise, it's not going to get a whole lot of views. Or you can chase after views on purpose, but then if you do that, then you kind of have to just do what everyone else is doing. And it's kind of where we are in the fragrance community. You can do a lot of top 10s and, you know, girl smells this, which you are a girl, Hillary, I'm assuming from your thumbnail there. So, I mean, that's one thing. I think having a unique kind of slant on your channel will always help. So I know when we first started the channel, it was kind of the back and forth kind of discussion of it, and that really helped us kind of build a base for where we could fit into the fragrance community, because it was a unique voice. A lot of fragrance reviewers, they come in without having a unique voice or a unique kind of slant on what they want to do, and they get lost because then you have to compete with all the other people that have the same kind of voice as yours. So I think that's one thing. Another thing that is a harder threshold, but will definitely help you get noticed, is with just like quality. If you do something that's really produced really well, that will get you noticed more. But with that kind of is it's a higher threshold just because it's a higher, unless you have already the equipment or the knowledge of how to produce videos and make them with your equipment, then it's going to be hard to invest that money into something right away. So for a while, we had videos and our video quality was terrible. And then we slowly kind of upgraded. And now, you know, the video quality on my channel is a lot better. And I wasn't sure how it was going to be, so I didn't invest that money going in. But that can get you noticed right away if you're kind of set apart in some kind of quality way. It doesn't always pay, just because you still have to judge the interest of the audience. But you will get people talking about you saying, wow, their videos look amazing. So you'll get that kind of reaction. Those are just a couple of things. I think having the unique voice or slant is the most important thing with reviewing. And also, I think with reviewing itself, there are two different kind of styles of reviews. There is the what I call the objective reviewer, or I should know, let me not say that, not objective. There is the editorial reviewer, and then there is the journalistic reviewer. That's what I like to refer to those as. So the editorial reviewer is like me. So I'm an editorial reviewer in that I give my opinions, good, bad, or ugly, and I let it all hang out there for people to see. And I have a lot of reasons for that, and I think my way is better, but that's just my point of view. But then there's a journalistic point of view in which they say that they don't really give good or bad ratings on a lot of things, or if they do, everything is a good rating. And they're more of an informational type of thing, and this is what you can expect from the fragrance and that kind of thing. And they don't really give bad reviews. There's pros and cons to both. But deciding which one you want to be ahead of time pays off, and just stick with that. Even if you get negative comments. Another thing is prepare for negative comments. As a woman, you really got to pay it. You really got to harden yourself, because you'll probably get worse comments than a man would. Let's see, I think those are some of the things I would say. And it's going to take a while to kind of hone how you want to create the review, how you want to get your thoughts together, and how the whole review comes across. But I would definitely try to work on that process of how the review comes about. And my process of reviewing is still evolving and changing. Frag Hag, how are you doing? Says, oh, are you talking about or aware of the Eugenius video? Which one? I know he's had a few. Kit Nico Perez says, opinions on Azzaro Wanted by Night, thanks. I think it's okay. The Azzaro Wanted line is kind of a strange fragrance. It's okay. It's got some things I like and some things I'm unsure about. DJ Genki says, I approach doing my reviews as honesty is the most important thing. Even if it is a free bottle, people like not letting discounts and freebies sway opinions. Totally agree. I think that's definitely something you need to hammer out beforehand, that you'll always have to, give your opinion whatever the circumstance is. Hillary Schwartz says, thank you so much. I definitely am hoping to fill a strange niche. Yeah, I think that'd be great. I'd love to see your video. Let me know and I'll subscribe. Spencer Diaz, hello from Spanish Fort, Alabama. Hey, how are you doing? So for those who don't know, Spanish Fort is near Mobile. Very close to Mobile. Vlausius says, do you like animalic frags? Not really. I mean, they're okay. Sometimes I think they're better than others. And I don't wear a lot of them. I like musky fragrances. So I guess that's one aspect of animalic. But I'm not a huge animalic fragrance. I know whenever people usually think animalic, what they usually mean is like the barnyard kind of civet, castoreum, hardcore animalic fragrance. And I'm not a huge fan of the really difficult ones. But I do like musky scents. I do like ambergris type of scents. Those are considered animalic, but definitely more on the friendly side. Rich, Mobile. That's how you pronounce it. All right, let's see here. See if there's any more new fragrances here. So I haven't really done exactly what I wanted to do for this live video. Fragrance Tattoo says, buy a drink. I'm not sure what that is, but no, this is LaCroix. It's just the apple cranberry LaCroix. Talking Sense. Hey all, how are you doing? Casual Fragrances says, when starting a fragrance YouTube channel, just have fun and take your time. There is good and bad comments. It says, I've been a fragrance reviewer for 3 years this December. Great tips, Saver. Thank you. Miguel Matos just arrived and I see someone mentioning that video. Patrick Echevarria says, hey, Daver, have you gotten your nose on Josh Meyer's upcoming release, Telegramma? I haven't smelled it yet. I've talked to him a little bit about it. So I have some information on it, but I haven't smelled it yet. I should be getting a sample of that soon. I'm not sure when. Hopefully I'll get it, if I get anything, hopefully I'll get something before release date so I can have it out on the release date, my review on the release date. Not really sure if that'll happen or not. I'm not even sure if my review will come out on time, but I'm hoping to have it out soon though. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I'm not a huge fan of lavender in general. And so I'm really looking forward to trying this to see how it is, but I'm sure it'll be good. Vlausha says, do you think YouTube videos have made the general public more into fragrance? Although we are a niche, I'm sure people have been influenced by being told what works. I'm not sure. I think probably. I think that the influence in the general public has probably been small, but I'm sure that it probably has done that. I think if anything, it's leading people who are casually interested in a better direction than anything. I think they're the ones that are probably getting most of the influence. I think people in the fragrance community themselves are, they're watching everything. You know, they're watching a lot of different videos and they're making up their mind that way. But the casual fan, I think, is really where a lot of the influence is coming, is really impacting them more, I should say. All right, let's see here. Ooh, Diptyque has a new fragrance coming out. Let's see. It says it's called Eau Capitale. It's a new Chypre fragrance. Roses and bergamot, pink berries, patchouli, ylang ylang, cinnamon, akigala wood, Georgie wood, and ambrofix. I'm not sure if I'm excited about that, but that should be okay. Chi-Town, California says, fragrance YouTubers definitely help me or help put new colognes on my radar, but I still don't buy fragrances without trying first. I think that's smart. Sometimes people people will watch my videos and they'll get upset that that they bought a fragrance on my suggestion blindly, and I'm like, you should have tried it, man. Fragrance tattoo. Will Jer ever be back on a Fragrance Bros video? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm always open to have him on, but we haven't had any plans to recently. Fazisa says, do you allocate a fixed budget monthly to get new fragrances? No. To me, it's always been kind of an extra type of thing. Like if I have extra money to spend that I want to, then I will. But I don't really have like a monthly budget type of thing for me anyway. It's never been like, it's never been high on the budget priority. So a fragrance to me is always a luxury item, and it comes way down the chain. So to me, it's always one of those things. Vlausha says, my brother showed me Date for Men today as he blind bought it. His money, so up to him. We'll see. Trying to keep an open mind. Gabriella Antes-Kuhn says, what's your favorite gourmand? I think one of my favorites is probably Memoirs of a Trespasser by Imaginary Authors. That's one that I usually go to a lot, and I usually recommend that one a lot. I wouldn't say it's a hardcore gourmand fragrance, but it's a great vanilla scent, woody vanilla scent, and one that I wear a lot in the fall. So I like that one a lot. I like a lot of gourmands though. One that I really got recently was Teo Cabanel, Cafe Cabanel, and that one's fantastic. Really like that one a lot. DJ Genki says, fragrance addiction is also rampant in FragCom because a lot of people live outside their budgets to get huge wall spreads they see on reviews. Yeah. I don't necessarily know if that's addiction, but it's definitely bad money spending habits there. Bad money decisions. I would never do that. And there are a lot of things that I really want that I could probably save up to get, but I don't know if that's, it's not a high priority. Like I was saying earlier, there are guitars that I would love to have, love to own, but they're a high dollar thing, and I would use it. I would use it a lot, but it's way down the chain of things that I would want to get, and some people get really excited whenever they get into the fragrance community, and they just buy up all the stuff. Excuse me. And I think that's really foolish. Talking Sense, yeah, man. He says, man, your review of Memoirs of a Trespasser clued me into that fragrance, and I still haven't tried it. I really want to, though. You should. He has a lot of samples in his line. You can get like a sample pack for really a good deal. So definitely check it out for sure. Talking Sense says, I think you can be shrewd with frags. You can get a serious collection for not much money if you don't spuff all your cash. I've never heard that word before. If you don't spuff all your cash on new releases and RRP retail bottles. Yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely places you can get really good deals from some of the, online stores. Definitely, you can definitely get great deals from like used bottles on local sales, on Facebook and stuff like that. Rich Mitch says, Taste of Fragrance is immense, by the way. Yeah, it's a great fragrance, man. I just never wore it. I'm glad you got it. Whew. Flausha says, Ami Loves Perfume used to do, or Amy Loves Perfume, used to do hauls with like 30 plus frags. Not for me. Wow, man. Yeah, can't do that. No Pause Well says, Dave, frag heads get anxiety and jealousy when they see YouTubers like you get a bunch of free stuff. They want to have as many as you get for free. What advice do you have for those people? Don't get jealous. Work. I don't know. DJ Genki says, scent split has saved me from many full bottle mistakes. Yeah, absolutely. Getting splits from places like that is a great way to try stuff. All right, so let's see here. See if we've got any new stuff here. Doesn't seem like there's been a lot of new news here. I thought there was going to be more because I haven't done like a news episode in a long time. Oh, Aftillier. Mandy Aftel has a new one called Forest Bathing. What is this one about? It's a woody fragrance. Notes of the forest, hinoki, fir, cypress, and sugi. And notes of the air, myrrh, pear, linalool acetate, cypress, beta-ionone. Interesting. I bet that's so good too. Her stuff is always really good. Eris Perfumes MXXX has a new fragrance. Pretty cool. Chi-Town, California says, getting free samples from Sephora is a good way to go. Better than getting 50 test strips thrown at you. I agree. Sephora is a great place to go to try stuff. The only problem with Sephora is they only usually have like the greatest hits, you know, like the top 40 of fragrances. They don't have a very good selection. The Sephora that I have and, you know, that we have in our mall is pretty small. It's not as big as some Sephoras I've been to. No Pause Well says, I think YouTubers showing walls full of fragrances comes a bit like bragging. Look at everything I have and didn't cost me a thing. Am I lucky? I mean, I don't think that's the case. I think you're misreading that. And I think some reviewers who have those full walls of fragrances spent money on their collection. Not necessarily everything was given to them for free. And fragrance reviewers are making content for those bottles. So they're working for that. You may not like that, and that can just be a point of disagreement. DJ Genki says, have you tried Rogue or Gallagher fragrances? I've tried one from Gallagher. I think I have a couple of samples from them, and I liked it, but I haven't really gotten a lot of wearing out of it though. So I don't really have a detailed opinion about that really. Chrissy says, forest bathing, getting a sample of that, can't wait. You know, I don't know if Mandy Aftel has samples or not. That's the only thing. Let's see if there's anything else here. Man, they have not posted many new fragrances. That was just a post about Thanksgiving. Oh, Zoologist B. There we go. So Zoologist has a new fragrance called B. Obviously, it has notes that are bee related. Let's see here. Notes include orange, ginger syrup, royal jelly accord, broom, heliotrope, mimosa, orange flower, benzoin, labdanum, musk, sandalwood, tonka bean, and vanilla. That sounds good. It's irresistible, opens with a luscious jellied orange and a smattering of meadow flowers. The honey chord is both extremely realistic and unanimalic, a rare feat that makes B a real contender for the title of the Baby Bear's Porridge of the honey fragrance genre. Oh, that's cool. Just as like, nice to be here. My kids go to a school and their mascot is a bee, so we get tons of those bee puns like constantly. It's annoying. D. Smith says, do you have a favorite Zoologist fragrance? No. You know, I smelled his line when he first came out with it, and honestly, I wasn't a fan of his line. And it just had like the few that he had at first. I forgot which one it was. I know Rhinoceros was on there, and a couple of other ones. But, you know, I've never really been a big fan of Zoologist fragrances. There's just something about them I just don't really like. So that's one reason why I haven't done any reviews of them, honestly. All right, see, there's a new perfume by, let's see, Les Parfums de Rosine. It's Ballerina number 5. It's a follow-up to Ballerina number 1, Ballerina number 2, number 3, and number 4. You don't say. Let's see here. It's a rose perfume. It's supposed to be delicious and affordable. Some of the notes in here are tangerine, Indian fig, orange blossom, crystallized violet, lychee, almond blossom, heliotrope, benzoin, tonka bean, patchouli, cedar, and guaiac wood. Okay. All right, let's see here. Just Add Light says, have you tried Jaipur Chai from Inaki? No, I haven't. I'm not sure if I have any samples from them. I might. I'm not really sure. But I don't think I've tried anything from them though. Chi-Town, California, it says, what do I think of Tom Ford Black Orchid? So I have a full review of that, of the EDP and the EDT together. And I think it's okay. To me, it's like an older granny type of fragrance. I personally don't see the hype in it, but it's a really thick floral scent that is so Tom Ford. It's iconic for Tom Ford because it's like it's florals cranked to 11. That's what I really like about it. I just don't like the scent. Christy can't wait for B. Hope it will be something I like. Yeah. I hate you. I'm kidding. Hillary Schwartz says, I have samples of all the Zoologist fragrances on the way, just because I wanted to see what they were all about. Yeah, I definitely think it's one of those brands you need to try. It has a lot of fans and has a lot of chatter in the community itself. It's just not my thing, really. No Pause Well says, Gent Sense said in a video that if you don't like a fragrance, you should say that in a video, not avoid reviewing, even if that risks not getting any more freebies. I disagree, again. I mean, that's just his point of view. I draw a line on making a review that is negative when I know that the negative review will detrimentally affect the company in an abnormal way. So what I mean is, if I give a negative review to a Dior fragrance, Dior is not going to lose any sleep over that. They're going to take that and they're going to make a better fragrance if they take my advice, which is probably not the case. They're going to be able to make a better fragrance, and they're still going to sell a lot of fragrances. And even if it affects their sales, it's not going to affect it in a way that's going to put them out of business. But smaller companies, though, if I give a negative review that I know is bad, that might negatively affect their livelihood. And that to me is a distinction that is very important, because I don't want to make a review that hurts someone. I want to make a review that helps someone, that helps the audience decide what to buy. And the goal is not to have people not buy a fragrance. The goal is to get people to think whether they want to buy the fragrance or not. The problem is with negative reviews, it usually deters people from buying a fragrance in general. So if it's with a smaller company that is dependent upon a community like ours to generate revenue, I'm not going to give them a negative review knowing that that will negatively affect the livelihood of a creator or a company, or their employees. I think that's immoral, and I'm not going to do that. I think the spirit of what Jensen is saying is correct, in that you don't want to shy away from giving a negative review just because you get something for free. But I think where you're taking it is incorrect, in that saying that you shouldn't, saying that you should always give a negative review regardless is just, I think that's extreme. I think there's a balance between the two positions. Ian Rand says, Ash didn't quite put it like that. What he said was that if he personally already said he would review something, that he would not avoid it, even if it's negative. There you go. And I agree with that. Talking sense, but fragrances are subjective anyway. Negative reviews are always framed in the context that it's just one person's opinion. I agree. I totally agree. And I think that should always be that way. I like opinionated reviews. I like really opinionated people. And a lot of times, I think that's really helpful in determining where their reasoning is about the frame of the review. I think that's really great. DJ Genki says, negative reviews on indie houses are the most damaging. Best to say it personally doesn't excite me because I can see how someone else who likes blank notes would like it. Yeah, I agree. And that's why I don't do negative reviews of smaller houses. Chi-Town, California says, the problem is that so many people follow influencers' opinions as universal truths. I agree. Totally. And I even tell people, go try it. And people will say, what fragrance should I blind buy? I'm like, none. Calorie Reviews says, I think when reviewing fragrances from smaller company, a good thing to do is to show 3 or 5, and people will get a good idea on your opinion by where you position each one. I think that's a good idea. I like that. I like that type of approach of showing kind of the thing on a whole. Just Add Light says, some though, Dave, or some. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, Just Add Light says blind buys. Some you should blind buy, I guess. Only my good reviews, right? All right, let's see here. See if there's any new fragrances coming out. Does anyone else know of any new fragrances that you're really excited for? It seems like there's not really that many that's been launched in the last month. Like here's one from Memo Paris, Memo Vadu. Let's see. It says, what would you bring on a desert island? On Vadu, lost in the Maldives, you have everything you need. Okay. It's an aromatic and spicy fragrance that pushes forward everlasting flower seed and mixes ginger, patchouli, and creates a fresh fragrance. Everlasting Flower gives the juice those spicy green and woody notes and takes you away on an unexpected escape. Sounds interesting. Memo Paris is a good house. I like them. Dawn Spencer Hurwitz has a new fragrance called Maccabees, which is a Hanukkah scent. That's interesting. A rich beeswax scent with notes of honey, immortelle, and warm resins, and soft smoke. Huh. That could be pretty good. Sounds good to me. Just Add Light says, La Adventure Intense. Is that one you blind bought? Talking Sense says, I do try to frame my negative reviews in a way that explains why it might be different for some people with a different taste. Unless, of course, it's just bad, then you get both barrels. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Calorie Reviews says, is it true that Versace Oud Noir is similar to Oud Wood? No, I think I have Oud Noir or a sample of it, and I would say no, but I could be wrong. I haven't had that much exposure to it. I would probably say it probably is not similar. No Poswell says, many influencers have smelled Steve's Navitus line. Have you smelled them? No, I have not smelled them yet, but I'm sure he's going to give me some samples of them. We'll see. So definitely looking forward to it anyway. Napoleon 1805 says, I'm excited to smell Spice Must Flow from Etat Libre d'Orange. Is that a real fragrance? That would be awesome if it is. I'm excited to smell that now. DJ Genki, I have, okay, so he says, DJ Genki says Dave Sebastian collab would be thumbs up. And I actually have a couple of collabs with Sebastian when he was first launching his channel. Well, relaunching his channel, I should say. And we have a couple of reviews that we did together. I know one of them was with Pulp, Byredo Pulp. But I'd love to do more with him. He's in San Francisco, and I'm not doing video. I'm not doing remote collaborations anymore. No Poswell says, you know, you should collaborate again with is Lanier Smith. I love Lanier. Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right. Anyway, I've got to go. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Love the discussion and talking about the 5 new fragrances that are coming out. Anyway, thank you for your questions. I tried to answer as many as I could, so sorry if I missed some of them, guys. But anyway, I will talk to you later. I'll see you soon, and maybe next time I'll have a better video quality situation going. We'll see. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Bye.